Hello, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Draft Chats. Today, I'm joined by Ali. How are you doing, mate?
I'm pretty good, mate. I'm pretty good. It's been a long day at work. I've been looking
Yeah,
forward to this all day. How about yourself, man?
yeah. As I've mentioned prior to recording, man, it's been a long, long day, man. But firstly, I want to mention the draft pool. You have mentioned it's a very specific draft pool. Internationals from Nigeria, England, and Argentina with a 250 million budget. Why is that?
Mainly because of with the nations pool. I love Andrada, Andy Carroll, and Paul Anawachu, so I wanted to secure them. And I guess 250 million budget, nice and small, a bit of a homage to wasted possession.
Of
May
course,
it rest in
R.I.P.
peace.
Mwah. R.I.P. to the one only. You got 10 seconds. Oh, he's done it about safe, but you're gonna miss your first pick then.
No,
He's gone for Paul
no.
straight away. Of course he has.
I was scared you'd
Sneaky.
take him.
Bottled it straight away. I'm not risking losing that on Paul.
No, fair enough.
I don't blame you, man. So the first thing I normally ask on these as well, as I mentioned at the draft poll, who is it you support, and is there any story behind why you support that team?
I'm a Manchester United fan. And essentially, it's a funny story, but it's not a funny story at the same time. Like, my dad came to the country in 1978, and back then it was quite bad if you weren't white, essentially. So
Yeah.
he got bullied at school. Like, my granddad used to have to budget in his like weekly pay window money because the chances are someone was going to throw something through it.
Jeez, man.
At the time in Stoke, where I'm from, everyone was a Manchester United fan. So my dad just picked Manchester United to fit in and try not to get bullied as much.
I mean, I don't blame you, fair. It's a smart idea, to be fair, man.
Just carried on.
It makes sense, to be fair. I don't blame you, to be honest, man. I mean, at school for me, everyone was Villa fans, and I went the complete opposite, being Birmingham City. And I mean, it's done me no good looking how good Villa are doing these days, and we can't even get nodded by our club. So I mean, it's going pretty bad for us.
Nah, it'll get better soon, mate. I'm sure.
All fingers crossed. So let's go on to FM. I want to talk about your journey into getting Football Manager and like your first time playing the game. If you remember which renovation of the game was you actually played and who your first save was, or if you do remember.
It was FM 17, and I played it because one of my friends was playing it at the time. Thermal, people might know him in the community from back in the wasted possession days. And now I started FM 17. My first save was Stoke.
Okay.
And because I'm from Stoke and I didn't want to just be a good team and just dominate,
Yeah.
I wanted to get right in. And I won my first game 6-1 against Liverpool.
Ooh.
I was sat there thinking, I'm a god. And then I lost 9 games on the bounce and got sacked. So I quickly learned how to actually play the game off the back of that. But yeah, it was not as long as a lot of people who are in the FM community, which I think is quite interesting.
I mean, you're probably not as when you're as old as me, obviously. But I mean, I think I started. I'd have been like Championship Manager days. It's going back even much further than you.
Oh man!
But again, I do have a couple of years in, just a couple. I want to say, be nice to myself.
Yeah. We'll say it's a couple for the cameras, mate. We'll say
I'll try and look good for the cameras to make sure it looks like a couple. But I mean, that's up to the people watching if they how old they think I
am. Anybody want to guess?
Please don't put that. Put in the comment section. Guess how old I am. Why not? Make it a bit more interesting. Why not? So let's move forward a little bit. I want to get into streaming. When did that all start then? Obviously, you started with FM 17. When did you start actually getting to streaming? And obviously, a bit further on down the line, you got into doing the web session streams. But we'll start with your own streams initially.
I was very much part of that lockdown influx.
Yeah,
I suppose. At the time, I was like sat in a room in a house all on my own because there wasn't much space for me back home to go and live at the time because my mum had moved from the previous address. I was just didn't have anything to do. I couldn't go outside. So I started watching Dr. Benji.
Yeah.
Which if he sees this, hi mate. He pretends he hates me, but I know he loves me. But so I started watching him. I saw one of his videos and made Lad Bible, and it was the Glory Hunter save that I started looking at. And I think everyone who does FM stuff can relate. I was looking at it and I thought, I can do better than that. Like purely arrogant thinking, right?
Yeah,
Um,
I'm
I
sure Benny's
couldn't.
watching this. He's probably thinking, Kenya.
I think I've actually told him the story, but I couldn't do it as good as him. I started making YouTube videos because obviously I just didn't have anything else to do. I was finishing my degree, which I wasn't really motivated to do at the time anyway, because I felt like everything was done. Like I'd
Yeah.
had I was right at the end of it, and I had 3 job offers.
Okay.
Um, but I hadn't signed a contract. Lockdown happens, all of them are retracted. So I'm thinking
Ah.
my life's done out here. Like
Yeah.
I was never promised this. So
God.
then I started doing those. And then in that save, I was the Wales manager, and I was going to the World Cup. So I thought, you know what? Why don't I stream this for the boys?
Yeah.
So then all my mates just jumped in. I streamed it. It was a proper good laugh. And I was like, do you know what? I might start doing this more. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's how I started, like initially, and then obviously wasted possession and stuff came after that, a little bit after that.
Nice. I had to mention, people who are watching would have seen me put my hand on my head. So I missed my pick. It went to Fraser Forster, and I was trying to pick Rodrigo de Paul. And obviously, straight afterwards, then you picked him. And I was like,
Unlucky.
I pressed it literally, had 1 second to go, and it said, "You have picked Fraser Forster." I was like, "Why have I picked Fraser Forster?" I was trying to pick Rodrigo, and then straight away I saw you pick him. I was like, "Oh, well, there we go then. That's that gone." That's the option gone that I really wanted in my midfield. Love that.
I'll pretend I feel bad about it, but I really don't.
When he scores a hat trick past me now, I know who to blame.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Oh, you got the double pick here, so you know what? You can make me pay.
I mean, I wasn't going to get a keeper for this round, but I mean, I've got one now. Fraser bloody Forster by the looks of it, so I'm kind of stuck with who I've got in goal now.
Yeah.
I mean, for 7 million, I wouldn't have picked Fraser Forster for 7 million in the ideal world, but I mean, I suppose just make do with what you can get at this point.
100%.
There you go, I'll take Ben White instead then.
Oh.
So let's move into wasted possession then here. Of course, want to mention the merger with the FM Plus, but that's going to come a bit later on. If you want to hear about that, you can wait to the end of the episode for that one, because that's the big news right now. Obviously, that got announced this last weekend. But I want to get into the wasted possession then. How did that all start for you though?
Essentially, I was just in my stream one day, and Stick Piano, my friend Thermal, and some other Chief Fresh, and another guy who didn't actually join us on it. It was the other guy who said we should do something. I don't know what, like a podcast or something like cringe like that, I think was the way you phrased it. I was
Cringe
like, you
like
know
that.
what? Yeah, as I say it on yours, apologies. So I was like, do you know what? Sure. I just don't know what we're going to do. And at the same time, you're about to miss your pick again, by the way.
I'm here. I'm doing it.
McKins was interested in doing a community draft, but he wasn't sure if he'd have time to run it.
Yeah.
So we were like, do not worry, mate. We'll do it for you. McKin's wasted possession draft.
Yeah.
That's how we started.
Okay.
Am I allowed to swear? Am I allowed to swear? I should have asked
mean,
before.
yeah, fuck it.
It was fucking shit from that first
really?
one.
Oh.
We had some good feedback from the guys who came, who were involved, and said this has potential to be something good. And we took it on board, and season 3 is when it became what it's known as now.
Yeah.
Where I think in terms of the other competitions in the space, and I don't mean to disrespect them, I think we were at the top end of, if you discount the stream showdown, they're on another level. They're a TV show, not a stream.
Yeah.
But if you look at
Definitely.
that, we were definitely at the upper end of that.
I'd say so.
Towards the end, and yeah, it is time to move on now, unfortunately, which I'm sure we'll get into. But yeah, it all started off the back of that. Just some guys just wanted to do something.
Yeah, oh, it's amazing though, man. To be fair, like the amount of people that he like obviously worked with as well, sort of, in the amount of creators, like I'm gonna guess. Do you have like a number at all in terms of how many different creators probably worked with Wasted Possession? In terms of not behind the scenes, but I mean actually entered the competition. It's gotta be quite a few, man. Like qualifiers and everything, man.
I don't want to lie about it, but I think off the top of my head, thinking about the names we've had in, like we'd get 50, 60 applications a season, and we try and get as many new people as possible.
Yeah.
26, 28 people a season, depending on the format. It changed every now and then. I'd say we probably did manage to get over 100 people involved over the course.
Mental,
of its lifespan.
really, sort of thing. Like,
yeah.
for how short like it happened, sort of thing. Over that time span, like, getting that many people involved, like so many different creators, sort of thing. People who aren't around no more, people who have moved on now and doing stuff like the showdown or bigger things as well, which is mental, man, to be fair.
And with us, because basically our issue, I don't know who to pick, by the way. Our issue always was we weren't established already in the community.
Yeah.
We didn't know anybody, and that's the thing that the playoffs had over us. like when we started, because we started at different times. We didn't know anyone. Like, I wasn't clever when I started streaming. I'd not been involved in the community before. I'd never been on Twitch until I started to stream, right?
Okay.
Stick Piano was known in a couple of communities. None of the other guys streamed.
No.
So we essentially didn't have anyone. Like, the playoffs were able to bring in people who, like, I think they had Fox in the Box, second
Yeah.
yellow card, very early doors. We were like, this guy's averaging 10 viewers. That'll be our most. You know what I mean? And that's not that's not a disrespect on those. I'm just trying to set the scene for where we
Oh
started
no, yeah,
from.
definitely.
Because of that, we always carried that sort of, we need to give the opportunity sort of influence in there, and I think we did a good job of that with to getting as many people as we did in. And it was also important to try and have something quality, so people could get involved in something. It didn't matter how big they were. And you're always going to get, like, we had plenty of people at some of the email replies, making stabs about some of the things that were said on there. Even though we had 26 people online, you're not going to please everyone, and we knew that from the get-go.
No, I do remember. I can't remember who it was. I remember seeing someone on Twitter, like when I think it's the one I got selected for actually.
Yeah.
And like someone posted, I can't remember who it was. They said something like really like kind of like be bitchy about, or like, oh, I'm not big enough to enter this, blah 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 blah. I was thinking at the time, I was like, you probably average same sort of viewers and numbers as me, mate. Isn't that like?
I know who it was. I'm not going to mention
Yeah, I'm
any
not.
names
I
because
think I do know who it is, but I'm not going to say names in case it is wrong. But it's just unnecessary. This like, just I don't know
yeah,
why
you
sort of
just
thing. Like, just get on with it. Like,
you just got to do your own thing, and we were doing some of them. The majority of people recognize as quite good,
yeah,
and off the back of that, like, if anyone was going to make those points, they were just factually wrong.
hmm
There's not a competition that has had more people involved, and I don't think there will be,
no,
because I was working really hard behind the scenes to ensure that they could run. And to be honest, like, if it wasn't for the merger, don't know how much longer I could have realistically done that for.
yeah,
Um, but like, yeah, like, I don't think if anyone is going to run something like that as regularly, I don't think we'll see it again, because the amount of work that was put in, especially for the team that we had, was, and when I say that, I mean the numbers that we had behind the scenes was pretty mad.
yeah. Oh, it's mad, mate.
It was pure stress. Like, work, I was doing like maybe 2 or 3 hours at least every day,
Yeah,
just prepping it, making sure people were involved. Like, it was basically like a second job, like doing it during my lunch break, doing it during work, which I hope my boss doesn't see this. But rather than go and sort something out, I'd just whip something up on that. Like, it was a long slog, but I felt like we were doing something really good for the community, and that's what it was built on, and that's all I really cared about at the time, really.
no. I mean, I don't think many people know this actually. You probably watch the videos now and stuff. But when like the one that Johnny does now, Road to Legends, that first started, the first two of that I was involved. I helped him. I was co-doing that with him.
Yeah.
And then very much the same sort of thing. Like, if I had space, I'd be like, right, I'm gonna try some graphics here. I'm gonna try and make some GIFs here. I'm gonna try and make some like video packages here, and just like little bits here and there, sort of thing. And people don't realize how much time these little things take, sort of thing. Like, you put a lot of things in behind the scenes, and people see them like, oh yeah, cool, like that, and that's it, done.
Honestly,
And they don't
like,
realize how much time and like effort go into some of the stuff sometimes, I don't think. But
and I'm not saying I want any credit for it
oh no, not
by
at
any
all.
stretch, but no one will give you credit for that. Like, my streaming channel went dead for 8 months, and the main reason for that was wasted possession being done.
Yeah,
Now, my channel, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, I could have double, I could have triple the followers. I could have worked like, I could have put more time into that, made that as good as it can be. And that's the thing, like, if people are going to do those competitions, you have to actually really care about it.
oh definitely.
Because you will be forced to sacrifice a lot of sort of that personal Twitch gain that a lot of people will be wanting and aiming for in order to get it done.
But
And
on
I
the back
think
of that
that's
though, sorry, go
why
on.
I think that's why there's like a few who operate as regularly as they do.
Yeah, honestly, on the back of that though, I think because you've done waste possession, no problem. It's probably helped you long term in terms of like numbers and followers, those sort of thing, from where you've made that like connection with people within the community sort of thing, and they know you now sort of thing. So when you do your own streams,
Mm.
which you have been doing more recently, which we'll get onto in a little bit, obviously more people are coming in now because they know you through waste possession, they know what you've done with the playoffs, they've seen your face, they've seen you, they've been involved with you and spoke to you behind the scenes and other stuff with the drafts. So now they see your stream, they're like, oh yeah, he's a good lad, we'll go watch his stream. I
I
think
think it
long
has helped
term it's
in
helped
those
definitely.
regards. Yeah, like I know, and again, this was one of the things with the kickback, like as well, like doing that alongside wasted possession. I did that to try and get bigger eyes on wasted possession, so they know who you were and have them come in.
Yeah.
And I put all my effort into sort of that sort of thing. But now I am streaming more. I have noticed I get more raids than I think other people might do, but that's because I've interacted with so many people over the course of this time that I've got a good relationship with everyone who's been involved as a participant. I can't think of anyone that I don't dislike or wouldn't respond to a message from.
Oh, definitely. You didn't do nothing but help
And
when I entered, so
yeah, and when you have that, it's a case of like, well, like I'll get that, and that sort of thing does come through. But in terms of, I know everyone says Twitch, don't care about the numbers. It's impossible to not care about the numbers.
of
Like
course not.
it's always in your face. That's the whole sort of point. That growth, you get awarded for growth on Twitch through the badges.
Yeah.
Everything is so numbers focused. You can't not care about them. From that aspect, I probably did suffer. I just don't know if it'll be. I suffered in the short run, to then do better in the long run. Like I'll never know what would have happened if I'd have just thought, right, I'll focus on myself now. But yeah, I don't really dwell on that sort of thing at all. You
No, I
just
don't
gotta go
blame her.
with
I
it.
think you've done the right way around sort of thing, like getting involved with the community in that aspect sort of thing. With the long term, it'd be much better in terms of like your personal like game through Twitch and how you build sort of thing through Twitch. I reckon.
Yeah,
You'd think so
I
anyway,
mean,
surely.
that's not. I mean, I want to stress that's not why I did it,
Oh no, of
because
course
the
not.
the work going in was insane at times. Like doing like some of like my sleep schedule over those 6 weeks was absolutely terrible. But
Can only imagine.
it was what I felt like. Oh, this is what you're doing, and people are enjoying it. Keep plugging away, keep going at it. You never know what benefits will come off it, and I think maybe now those longer term benefits I'm maybe seeing. Boy, it's too early to tell.
So the teams have been drafted now. It's time for the match. Murph vs Ali. We'll see you there. Right, then here we go. Then the teams are coming out now. Then Murph vs Ali. How you feeling? You confident?
Oh mate, I've got Andy Carroll started. Of course, I'm confident.
Big Andy. I mean, thinking of Andy, you should probably go into your current Twitch save. Actually, you're doing Stoke around Andy Carroll. Actually, how's that been going so far for you?
It's good. It's good. He got me promoted. He got me promoted. I started with Stoke. He got me. He ensured that I made it up to the Premier League.
Yeah.
And he's now retired, but he is currently
Oh,
my head of youth development, being paid 25 grand a week. So he's sorting him out.
25 grand a week for early development. Big Andy
You
doing
gotta sort your
bits.
boys out. You gotta help your friends, mate.
Look after the boys. Big Andy getting that big pie. I bet he's
Oh yeah,
loving it. What a guy.
I'm loving it as well. I mean, his youth attributes are on the rise, mate. So hopefully we see more of him.
That's what you want to say. So, back to wasted possession quickly. Is there a single moment that stands out to you as one of the best moments of wasted possession?
Oh man, I think there's some. There he is. There's the
Oh,
big man. He's done it. I'm telling you, the best poacher in the game is Andy Carroll. I won't have any other answer.
big bloody Andy.
Um, I think the best moments are some, like Daljit's always coming out with gems in his like interview segments.
Yeah.
So I've appreciated all of them. I think the best one, I remember when RDF Tactics was in and won for the first time. I think he started getting a bit teary, and this
Oh,
was off the back of some of the tweets that he'd made in the past about not feeling accepted in
yeah.
the community because of how he looks or whatever. And just seeing that was just really good. It was absolutely the guy to win it.
Yeah, definitely,
That
man.
was that
What a
was
guy,
it
though.
was it was phenomenal, man. That was probably my favorite moment.
Yeah, no, absolute legend, man. If and him and Dowgett, to be fair, oh my god, how Ming's missing that. Why
I
did I
don't know
trust?
why people pick Mings. He's so bad.
I don't know why I trust an Aston Villa player. It's my own fault, really. I thought when that left foot centre back, he's got a bit about him in the air. He'll be all right. And I mean, I got Fraser Forster in there. I don't know what I was expecting to happen from this game, realistically.
Hey, Fraser Forster. I'd rather have Fraser Forster off, like compared to like Ter Stegen or anyone like that.
Really?
Yeah. I believe Forster's better in draft mode. I've seen enough drafts to make a decent opinion. I feel.
True. You've seen quite a few.
Yeah, to say the least.
Why are they doing long balls into Deeney there? Deeney's never going to win that. Let's face it. Nowhere near it.
Let's
He
see
got the
what
legs for that,
Rodrigo
has
can
he?
do.
Here we go. Sancho goal.
Nah. False 9 Sancho levels, mate. I said he was terrible the other day,
Yeah.
on the playoffs panel. But playing him as a false nine, it's actually not bad.
Saying that, let's get into like the whole like play-by-play stuff. Obviously, you started with waste position doing the play-by-play, and then you've moved then over to doing the stuff in the playoffs. How did that all come about? It's obviously the waste possession. I'm guessing it's because you were doing it yourself already when you started it. But
Yeah.
how did it come about then moving over and doing play-by-play for other places?
They literally just asked me. Like, if I'm asked to do something, I will probably say yes. And you probably know that after that
Well,
I'm
yeah,
right here.
you
But
are
like,
here.
I'll probably say yes.
Oh
I
my god.
enjoy talking to people. I enjoy the interaction. I think it's important.
Oh, definitely.
And I like to just do new things. So, when they sent me a message saying, "Do you fancy hosting?" I was like, "Sure, I do." I've made no secret about the fact that like I would like to appear on the showdown one day on the lowdown sort of
Yeah.
thing. Like that's a very very open sort of secret. And so I just thought it was a good way of just adding another, another feather to the whatever the saying is,
Another one. It's on the CV then. It's sort of thing like a bit more.
Yeah.
Don't know if you better play-by-plays now. Oh my god, what's happened there?
Oh, Palominos out of there.
He's absolutely
But
bottled it. Tammy scared
Big
him.
Tabby. I mean, I can't be mad. It's Big Tabby, isn't it?
You
He's,
can't.
he's quality.
So, the final question. Actually, no, there's a bit more before that, actually. I don't want to get into the merger, how it actually came about then. Let's get into that first, and then we can go about what the plans are for the future. We get to half-time here. How did this merger come
Ah,
then with yourselves and the FM playoffs?
this might be a long bit, so I'll take my time with my halftime team talks.
It's all right.
Essentially, after the last playoffs, the one that I hosted, um, we went into. I'd been talking to Dr. Benji in the background, and he'd seen me as a host on there.
Yeah.
And so he was like, let's do a call. Get anyone else who you think might find it necessary, but keep it to 100, he said. So we had this call, and he was like, why the bloody hell haven't you guys merged yet? And it was literally because me and Mozza just hadn't been in that call yet. Like
Yeah.
he told me back in September, like, I think you guys should do it. I was keen before then. I always thought that what'll happen is we'll get to a point where we both reach somewhere where we need to take a next step, but we're not sure what to do with what we currently have. You just
Okay.
don't know when that point is exactly.
No.
And it just happened to be that point. There was interest on Moz's side before then. Like, I always felt like it would happen just when, and that call enabled it to happen. So shout out Ben, making it possible. But like, yeah. And then from that, over the course of them sort of 3.5 weeks, getting people involved, trying to set up what the new look's going to be, and sort out the current one. That's a banging goal
Yes,
by
Mathers.
Madison.
Let's go.
Just trying to do them both at the same time, which was a bit tough at times. But we obviously got this Sunday just gone, smashed out the way, and now we're looking forward to what the next one's going to look like. But I'm quite excited for it.
Well, speaking of the next one, obviously you can't give anything away, of course, but is there anything in the future in terms of what you're thinking of, in terms of, obviously you mentioned about the stuff like the qualifiers in the past and stuff, like, how's the new look going to look in terms of what you can say at the moment anyway? Is there much you can say?
The video we did on it's dropped today, so I can say everything on that.
There we go then.
Qualifiers, it'll basically be like a 4-week competition. Week 1 and week 2 will be qualifiers. You'll have like group 1, group 2, 8 people in those. Top 4, it's penciled in right now, so it could be subject to change, but top 4 of each go in to the final week. And we then get the invites that we usually do, and past winners, past finalists in there as well.
Of course.
And that'll be in the 4th week. So that 3rd week is a bit of a break week for us, so we can sort of rev the engines, make sure everything is going as it possibly can.
Sorry, I had to gas out. I don't know why I didn't square that ball then. I was just there. I was there like, just fucking square it.
I'm very relieved he didn't.
I bet. But it's looking good though, man. Like, I can say myself, oh my god, he has to pull this down. I am so glad he didn't draft him now. I am so glad he didn't draft him now. I mean, in terms of things, have you got a date in terms of when qualifier is going to start or anything yet, or is it all just to be coming soon?
That might be what I'm not allowed to say, but
That's
I'll give
fine.
an indication. Keep an eye out around the middle of July for when things will be coming.
Little spoilers, everyone. Little spoilers.
Probably when things will be starting is probably what I'll give away. I'll probably get in trouble for.
And of course, I'm gonna have to ask myself as well. How do I qualify?
Just apply, mate. It's open
Just
to
apply.
anyone.
Just apply to go.
We're still looking to get those, like, same amount of people in, 20 people minimum every season, similar to the wasted possession fashion. So there's going to be opportunities at one point or another.
Of course.
And again, if people want to get involved, DM me. We're going to have an interest form out. It'll probably be up when this video's out. And yeah, just sign that form when it's out, or send me a DM.
There you go.
And we'll see, because obviously we are going to be looking at more how people's streams look, the camera quality, the microphone quality, is the video choppy, but we are going to be very transparent about that. And if people ask, we'll let you know, like, okay, there's this, there's that, fix those, and yeah, we'll definitely be taking you on at some point.
Oh, lovely. That's what I want to hear. I just been while you're saying that, I was just there, like, looking at the camera, looking at the mic. Yeah, I think we're okay.
My setup is bloody great.
I bloody hope so. I bloody hope so by now. There's been so many corners. By the way, I didn't mention in prior. Obviously, with a draw, we do go straight to extra time and penalties. But oh my god! Oh
no!
Wow!
You're not getting in now.
You beat the host. You can't enter. You're not allowed. You're too good.
Exactly.
Too good, he says. Hasn't won nothing yet. It was too good.
Speaking
to a former FM playoffs winner, and now he's a co-host of it, of course, as well now. So, I mean, does that put you out of ever entering yourself again now? Or never say never?
I'd say never say never, but I never competed in wasted possession for a reason. Like,
yeah.
Just making sure everything's running smoothly and is going as well as possible.
How has he missed that?
I have no idea, but we need a goal and we need it soon. So it very is a case of never say never, but it's not likely that I'll be in the playoffs. I'm obviously open to playing in other competitions that are around and new ones that crop up. Like, I'll always be open to that. But in terms of the playoffs, I would at least want to make sure that it's in a good enough spot before I'm like, okay, now I can play and not need to be worried about X, Y, and Z sort of thing.
Well, yeah, I suppose be like the main host the last few sort of thing as well on the actual Sundays. It's passing that to someone else and sort of thing. Obviously, there's people capable within the group already sort of who can do that, of course, but at the same time, obviously we've seen Moz enter the last few himself sort of thing. FM Gallery's part of it as well. Alex is part of it as well. We've mentioned her on the TikTok reels and stuff. You can go check that out as well over there. I'll put the little link in the description for you all to check that out. What's happened here? I was just showing Tamori on the bench, injured, by the way.
You've taken Tamori out, mate.
All I can see is Tamori, like, hovering in the bench.
He's
rolling around
with us, mate. He's no longer with us. But now, like, I mean, I don't think I will probably be the sort of guy for hosting. We have an infrastructure which I won't reveal,
of course.
But we're getting that infrastructure in, and there's far better people than me. And I think that's the key. Like, the last wasted possession, the last wasted possession. All the new ideas that came out, none of them were mine. It was all Alehstair and Stick.
Oh, really?
I'll happily admit that. Yeah, like you gotta use the resources that you got to you.
Oh,
and
of course,
be grateful for them guys for it. But yeah, like that's the thing. You gotta identify who's got what, and then use it in the best way that you can.
Oh, definitely. Definitely, man. What happened to Godfrey? I got Godfrey on the side of the pitch. You had Tamori. Tamori's still rolling around over there in the bench on my screen. As Carroll's just volleyed it home to make it 3-3. Big Andy.
What if he scores a hat-trick and gets the winner?
I reckon he should be some sort of, like, if he gets a hat-trick, he should be some sort of, like, special pick for the first playoffs. Like...
Oh, mate, if I'm in it, then he will be.
You make like a full 20s all over version of Andy Carroll in the database, and someone gets some
player. It's Andy Carroll.
Oh, it's gonna get out of penalties as well. Of course it is.
I know he's taking my 5th penalty.
Of course, Big Andy's gonna be on there. Of course he is.
Oh, hell yeah!
I mean, I got some good penalty takers here. They're not overly bad.
Yeah, no, mine aren't too shabby right now.
Could have worse. I mean, I'm tempted to put Fraser Forster first, honestly, but at the same time, I know he'll absolutely bottle it, smash it over the bar, and I'll hate him forever.
something or other. I feel like if I hadn't have already hit continue, then I would have definitely put Andrade on my last one if you'd put Fraser Forster on.
I mean, we definitely should have done that, really. First penalty, have our keepers. Right, well, for the viewers, we'll change the camera angle as well, of course, so everyone can see it behind the goal. That's lovely, that's perfect. As Maddis steps up to put the first one, I bet he puts it over the bar. I've got a feeling.
Please. Please miss Madders.
I've got a feeling he's gonna. Oh, that would do. Lovely, professional finish from
Cheeky pen.
Big Madders. Oh, here he is. The Paul. He can't score from closer, so
He's on like a 7.4. He's had a good game.
I thought it was going wide then. I thought it was going to go wide.
I was never in doubt, mate. I was never in doubt.
So, as we're closing up here, of course, at the shootout now, for everyone watching, where can they find you on your socials, Twitch, all that stuff? And, of course, plug the playoffs YouTube, all that stuff.
I'm Alehstair on everything. So, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, everything is Alehstair. So, have a look, you'll find me. And yeah, this is the first time I'm saying the FM playoffs are not wasted possession, mate. So,
I know, yeah.
you got the first scoop. Wait, the FM playoffs on Twitter and on Twitch. I think we have a TikTok account as well. There's Andrada. There he is.
Let's say so. Why did I bring him on? Of course, the Spurs player comes on and bottles it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. We have the YouTube out, the YouTube video part today, which goes into a bit more detail.
Yeah, I'll put a link down below for that video anyway, so people can watch it. They want to know a little bit more in depth sort of thing. They can watch that video as well. Prowse. We need a miss here. It can be Andy Carroll number 5 to miss it, surely. It's Trent steps up.
I kind of want it to go to my last penalty, so Andy Carroll wins it for me.
It's going to come down to it now. The last one for me. I need a goal.
I need you to score it because I need Andy Carroll to win it for me.
Big Andy's going to win it. I can't believe this, man. It's going to come down to this.
Scores 2 gets the winner.
I mean, it's the better result than the last time we played each other, which was back in the playoffs, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. It was in the Spring Cup, sorry, wasn't it?
Yeah, and you dominated me, and I wasn't very happy.
Oh my God, Dominguez!
He's missed it. Let's go. I'm actually gutted Andy Carroll didn't take the last penalty.
We won't see Andy Carroll, but they are going to celebrate now. Why did Dominguez do there? Playing the wrong sport.
Just saw Andrada's eyes.
I love that. Obviously on the board as well. It says Draft Chat. It's got your little face on there. That's amazing.
Yeah, you know
top
me, mate.
Quality.
We got to get the branding out there. You know.
Well, guys, thank you so much for watching another episode of Draft Chats. If you want to check out anything to do with the FM Plus and Ali, all these links are down below. And as always, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.